It was a very dark night, very similar to the one that we're experiencing in Central Florida right now. And it was getting darker and darker by the minute. And as it was getting darker, the wind was picking up stronger and stronger. And the wind was traveling so fast through the valleys, through the mountains. And there was a huge, gargantuan mountain standing on the top of the valley. And on the top of the mountain, there was a large tree that was going so high up into the heavens. And on top of that tree, there was an eagle's nest. And the wind was picking up, and it was getting ridiculous. And it was blowing, and it was getting stronger and stronger. And inside of that eagle's nest, there was a young eaglet. And the wind took him out right out of the nest. And the eaglet was falling down all the way to the ground. It fell on the grass. Eaglet woke up next morning, looked around. Looks like I have all my body parts with me. And as he looked around, he saw that standing around him was a circle of curious, cute, to their own fault, chickens. The chickens were looking at the eagle, and the eaglet, was looking at the chickens. And none of them knew who each other was. And the eaglet could not defend itself from this cuteness of chickens, and he fell in love with the chickens. And the eaglet wanted to be just like the chickens, and he wanted to play with all the chicken games and go to the food and look for the worms and eat the grass. But there was a problem. The eaglet was starting to grow into a full, beautiful, majestic eagle. But all he wanted to do was to fit in. And over time, he started to pluck his own wings, feather by feather. Until he had wings no more. Sometime later, two beautiful eagles were flying over the chicken coop. And they swooped down where that eagle was playing with the chickens. And they said, "Brother, we've been looking for you all over. We're so happy we found you. Join us. Join us, and we're going to soar into the sky. We're going to go over the mountains that kiss the heavens. We'll look down to the lakes that hold the secret to life itself. Join us." And he started to run, and he started to follow them, and he tried to take off, and he couldn't. And all he could do just watch his two brothers disappear into the evening sky. So the eagle put down his head and started to walk towards the chicken coop because it was time for dinner. Fellow Toastmasters, the beautiful souls that have collected here and joined in this precious moment. Just like Jana said, we are lucky. And the reason I tell you this story is that you may find yourself in a situation that is less than optimal. I'll be honest with you, in my life and perhaps in your life, you'll be encountering many chicken coops, the ones that you have made in your own head and the ones that were readily made for you. You find yourself across the chickens when you were meant to fly. And you may get down on yourself, the shame, the guilt that I could have done, I should have, but you didn't. And in that moment, I want you to remember that your current circumstance is not your final destination. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you can soar. One of my favorite quotes coming from Viktor Frankl. He said, everything can be taken away from a man except the very last of human freedoms to choose our attitude in any set of circumstances, to choose our own way. I have seen so many times where I had to cut my own wings to fit into the places I should never been in the first place. Because all I really wanted is to be accepted. So how many of you have found yourself in a place where you had to cut your own wings? I would like to tell you that your current circumstance is not your final destination, unless you want it to be. See, you have a choice. You can continue where you are, or you can remember that you were born as an eagle. So this is my question to you. Are you a chicken or are you an eagle? It's up to you. Thank you everyone for listening.